Google. Let's go get him again.
Welcome back to the Robes 08 channel. I'm your host, Mark, and this is your Subscriber's Choice Sampling Samples edition. Today's sample is from the brand of Paco Rabanne and the latest flanker of the famed 1 million line. This one is their 2023 release called 1 million Royal, or 1 million Royale with cheese. This is your Subscriber's Choice, so let's see if it's worth a purchase. Now, some of you are gonna hate me, but let's go back in time. I started the hype on YouTube on the original 1 million. I remember, yeah, I'm that guy. I didn't mean to. I was the first to review it. I was the first to hype it. I didn't mean to hype it. I was only excited because it was not in North America, and it wasn't in North America for many months actually, and it was doing well in Europe. That's where I got my bottle. And I was actually I was new to YouTube and everything, and I didn't mean to snowball this thing, but it just got going, and my enthusiasm for the line back then, or for the one fragrance back then, was great. It was, you know, it was legit. Now my enthusiasm for the line is not so good. I tend to collect this line, so I do get the bottles, but I'm not as, you know, I'm kind of late actually. I don't have this one. I don't have the bottle. Usually I just blind buy the bottles just for the collection purposes, but yeah, I haven't sniffed out Elixir or this one, so I'm 2 bottles behind now. But I do have a sample of Elixir. It's actually in the Subscriber's Choice that if you didn't vote, it was in there. It lost. But next week it's going to be back there anyway. So if you wanted to hear my thoughts on Elixir, you know what to do. Go back every Tuesday, 9-10 a.m. That video gets launched and you can vote for that one. But we gotta go back and go into Royal here and delve into this one. Now let's get into 1 million Royal, and it's funny enough I say Royale with cheese as far as a joke, but no, this line kind of went into that direction of McDonald's, you know, churning out fragrances and kind of just mass appealing type of stuff that just doesn't resemble the original. They're doing that with a lot, you know, Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. Basically the flagship fragrances don't even resemble each other anymore. Le Male doesn't smell like Le Male anymore. It's got like a ghost of it inside of it. 1 million, same thing. And I understand, you know, you gotta change with the times. If they continue to sell, they're gonna continue to flank her up. It is what it is. But let's get into 1 million Royal and let's see if this one's worth a sniff. Let's go under the hood. Let's take a look at some stats on this one. Release date, of course, was this year, 2023. Concentrations parfum. The nose behind this double-headed monster, actually 2 that have extensive resumes, Quentin Bisch and Christophe Renaud. I would say all-star noses. Yes, Renaud, definitely. Quentin, I got a bone to pick with him that I'm gonna get into the review, yeah, it turns out a lot of designer fragrances that kind of smell alike, and I'm gonna get into that. The big notes in this particular fragrance are cardamom, lavender, which is huge, and I'm gonna get into that, and benzoin. So let's get into sniffing. So I was right at the start of the video. This is actually an anniversary launch for the brand of Paco Rabanne, and it's been 15 years since 1 million hit stores back in Europe. You know, you can't delve into when it was released in North America. I think it was more in 2009 in North America. It took a while for it to actually come our way. So let's sniff out. This is my scent of the day. This little sample was huge. It was full. Not anymore, it's on fumes, so we're going to just basically empty it. It's done. Empty that one, launching it. Oh, breaking. After I broke the little sample, everybody's okay. The little puppy's good. No cats, no animals were hurt in this production. So let's get back to the first sniff. And you know, first sniff of 1 million Royale with cheese is, this is a synthetic loud sweet bomb that I was actually expecting from 1 million. It's not, you know, I think I would be shocked if a 1 million flanker came out more robust, more dark, and less sweet. It actually would be a nice little direction with this maybe sweetness with a lot of darkness. I feel this next part is going to be a little shot at one of the noses. Renaud's an all-star perfumier, love him. Built you know, was one part of the building the original 1 million. Great resume. Bisch also has a good resume, but he has a certain style. And I can't call it a style because it's very much a vanillic bomb, like a bomb threat to your nose in regards to really removing any personality from flankers, especially when he flankers up. It's like a huge synthetic vanillic bomb that he keeps utilizing that honestly removes those personalities. Case in point, my famed Lamal. He, some people will disagree, destroys my original Lamal. You can't even smell the original, like you're trying to, and it's there, but it's way in the background of this big bomb that has no personality. It's not like it's a really nice vanilla pod so no, it's a very sweet, weird thing. And you know, he did this with Azara Wanted by Night. The theme of that one, lavender, vanilla, benzoin. If we keep going, you know, he's got several of these that it's just the exact same thing. And he utilizes lavender smartly though, that it just basically really cleans up the and makes it a little more versatile with some of these sweeter scents. So I see where he's going with it, but it seems like it's churning out the exact same thing. Lamal Elixir, the brand new one, lavender, vanilla, tonka, benzoin. He did Lamal Essence de Parfum, vanilla, lavender. So you see the theme here is that I'm surprised no one else sees this, mentions it in their review, but this is a copy-paste job of the recent Lamal releases. It smells like a Lamal insert flanker name here with a Stronger With You Armani kind of synthetic sweetness with a 1 million touch. That's where I'm going here. Lots of Lamal inspired by in this 1 million. Pulling from, you know, 1 million and Lamal, which is my baby, and it's pulling from Stronger With You, which I don't mind, but it won't stand out. That's what I'm trying to say here. And that, you know, as far as the teenagers or the ones that are new to this fragrance game that are buying up all these new designer fragrances, honestly, you're buying, you know, if you bought Lamal Elixir, this is kind of redundant. You got Stronger With You in your collection, this is kind of redundant. These are all pretty much a mishmash. And this one kind of has a lot of the mishmash of the Stronger With You and Lamal DNA into it. But let's delve into it. Let's start dissecting this one. Now, Royale with Cheese starts off like the original 1 million, which is the orange. You got, you know, an orangey feel, and then you got a spicy feel, which usually is cinnamon, and then sweetness. That's the combo. That's the 1 million DNA, we'll say. Now, they've tweaked that a bit, actually quite a bit. The noses utilize tangerine in this one, which works. It's not candied and it's not as juvenile as the original, you know, orangey sweet bomb, but still sweet behind this huge, and this is where Bish comes in, is his vanillic bomb from the benzoin, we'll say, because it's in the note breakdown. Benzoin does give out vanillic tinges, so it makes all kinds of sense, but this is a vanillic fragrance through and through, lots of vanilla up top, and then that reminds me of Elixir. Lamal Elixir definitely using the same type of vanillic tendency here. Now the vanilla itself is, of course, a huge portion of this release, and it isn't very good. It's just a simple vanillic note that Bish utilizes. It's not 3D, it's just sweet. It's not obnoxiously sweet, depending on who you talk to, but I mean, it really isn't the greatest vanilla in the game. The spice, instead of utilizing cinnamon, which I really liked in the original, now is replaced with cardamom here, and it works well with the rest of the notes in the opening. The sweetness here is much less bubblegummy, so that was the trend back then. Now it's a better sweetness, in my opinion, with this vanilla bomb, but still not very good. It's slightly spicy here, but mostly sweet. Moving into the mid, the scent is much cleaner than the original 1 million. The rose in the original 1 million, long gone from the original DNA, as much of the floral tendencies from the original release and some of its flankers has disappeared. The only floral here I get is the aromatic lavender, and right away it reminds me of Lamal Fame, because the aromatic lavender with the vanillic tones, instead of mint in Lamal, you replace that with tangerine, and to give it a little bit of that 1 million tang. I felt sometimes there is some nuttiness in here too that reminds me a little bit of Stronger With You, or perhaps 1 million Lucky with that hazelnut, but it's fairly mild. You do have to look out for it. So at the end of the day, because of the aromatic touches that he stole from Lamal, It really does ground this 1 million release, not as juvenile, because with Le Male, lavender did the exact same thing. It really grounds it. It makes it less sweet, less obnoxious, more of a versatile scent than just a party thing. The lavender is well done, like Le Male, so no dryer sheet here, but there is so much resemblance here. The scent at this point feels fairly linear as you lose the tangerine, but continues to be built upon that benzoin note mostly. There's a mild chocolatey patchouli with no earthy tones here. Cedarwood pops up, gives the back end some sawdust-like effect. The sweetness takes a step back, gives those aromatics, mostly the lavender and the cedar, some place to shine. And at this point towards the end, the scent warms up a bit. The benzoin shows a bit of its resinous quality here, kind of giving you like an ambery glow, which helps in warming things up in the back end. Overall, 1 million Royale with cheese isn't new. It isn't great. It's a copy-paste job, and it seems to me that Bish's DNA in the designer realm is copy-paste, copy-paste, and I don't know how he keeps winning these briefs. I guess they all sell, so I guess, but you're starting to smell alike. It's a stronger with you Le Male 1 million mishmash, kind of like a Frankenstein type of scent. Honestly, there is some 1 million tendencies in here from the original, but holy crap, is it hard to find. Just like Elixir, same thing. I couldn't find my famed Le Male. It was in there somewhere. I had to dig. It's solid for a young kid. But if you own any of the scents I mentioned, Stronger With You, Le Male, Elixir, it doesn't really matter which one, you're starting to get in the field that you're getting redundant. Why would you get this? And unfortunately, I feel like this one it's solidly built. Like if you're starting out and you don't know which one, you look at the small nuances. Am I getting Le Male Elixir? Am I getting this? Or am I getting Stronger With You? Absolutely. Pick one, pick your lane, and then go. So it's a good scent, but it's very much, it's not going to get a 10. It's not a masterpiece. It's not even close to anything like that. And it really is getting away from the 1 million theme, sadly. I don't like that. Personally, I don't like that. I like fragrances that are built upon their main frame, and this is not. So let's get into seasons, day, night, versatility, and performance. Seasons, fall, winter. This is a stronger fragrance. Like versatility goes up, especially with that lavender. You could maybe squeak it in spring nights, overcast, and summer nights, things like that. Day or night, I feel like this is more of a nighttime scent. Versatility, average. Again, it is still built for clubbing, dates for younger folks, things like that. But other than that, there is some restrictions to this. I would not advise this as your daily driver. Again, if you're just starting out, it can be your daily driver. But once you start collecting, this is a little much, honestly. Performance. Longevity was 7 to 9 hours, so not beast. And average projection, it's not loud. This is not the 1 million bomb that we're used to as far as, projecting and longevity. No, it's just very solid though. I can't poo-poo the performance, 7 to 9. Average projection, not super loud. It is going to die off on your skin after eventually a couple hours in. So it's not a bomb as like the original 1 million used to be. So my final thoughts on this one is it's a money grab. Paco Rabanne is utilizing a nose and a DNA that has been working, so I guess that's a plus for them. But seeing what they did here over the years to the 1 million name, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they're kind of tarnishing the name of the 1 million line. It really doesn't resemble the earlier releases. At some point you almost have to kind of look and go, is it time to retire the 1 million line and start something new? Let's move on. I still think the 1 million DNA can be done tastefully in the 2020s, but not like this. This is for kids out there. The ones that just start their, they see the shiny red ruby thing and they get excited, more sales, and new collectors. But other than that, this thing is for the kids, for 20 and below, first fragrance, having a small collection. It's what is selling at this point, and it's not terrible. It's just not unique enough for me, and that's why it's going to lose some points for me. But overall, it can't be, a snoozer. I can't give it 2 out of 10. It does perform. It actually has a lot more versatility, I would say, to some of the other 1 million flankers because of the lavender, but you're stealing a little bit of Le Male there, Mr. Bish. You must be really loving that Jean-Paul Gaultier DNA that you're putting it into other fragrances, that vanillic lavender combo. I don't blame you. Le Mal's a classic. But you're starting to make 1 million look like Le Mal. What's going to happen next? We're going to have a robotic torso from Paco Rabanne. But wait a minute. Forget that. Forget that thought. Now let's give it a score. Sampling samples, we always give a score. If I had to give it a score currently, it would have to be 7 bottles out of 10. Just like Le Mal Elixir, this thing is right there. Linear, kind of loud, not much going on, not much personality to it, doesn't resemble the original. There's a lot of things that are not good, but there's some positives there, especially for... I can't look away at the positives also, but when this thing's going to get discontinued 3-5 years from now, are we still going to be talking about this one? You know, there's some that are in the line like 1 Million Lucky, Privé, like they had some personality to them that you could attach yourself to them and get kind of upset when they get discontinued. This will eventually get discontinued. It's the new baby of the line, but watch out. Paco Rabanne likes to axe their flankers, and this one will get it. 7 out of 10 for me. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Are you more excited than I was about this release? Are you even lower than me on this scale? Like a 7 out of 10, I think it's actually a proper score for it. You know, not being wholly judgmental of the 1 million line, juvenile, all that. I feel like it's a good starting set. If you want to spend some money, big time money on new releases, retail, that's probably it's going to be one of the contenders, personally. As always, a great import fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.